Hello everyone, hope you are doing well today. It is December 30th. Gosh, the year's almost over, I can't believe it. This is Wild Acorns Art Studio, priorly Wild Acorns Pottery, because I am a potter. I've been doing pottery for, almost close to 40 years, I guess. But recently, I've been doing more painting and resins and acrylic painting, watercolor painting, trying to get into some different things. And so tonight I was going to play with some resins, not resins. I made a video a couple hours ago with resins, and it did not work out. So you won't be seeing that. I'll tell you about that while I'm doing the alcohol inks. But anyway, so what I'm working on is, I did this, I guess, last week. I did a video, and you can see how that turned out. So that is alcohol inks on 6x6 unglazed tile that you can buy at Home Depot, Lowe's, any hardware store. It looks like this to start out with. Just a matte finish. It is unglazed. So alcohol inks react very differently on unglazed surfaces. So I got a little bit of a sinus infection still. Probably, working with too many alcohol inks and resins. But I do have a fan on over here. If you hear that, try to keep it ventilated, because normally this is something that you wear a mask or do it outside or something. But anyway, so I just mounted it in this frame. So here is what that is. This is just an 8x8 panel. Well, actually, this is probably a 6x6. Now I have to look, because the tile is 6. So this is 8. Yeah, that's what I thought. So this is an 8x8 wooden panel, and most people really just paint on the back. Some people, paint on the front, but when you buy them, you can buy them from Amazon. I'm going to try to link all this stuff on my Amazon. I can't even talk anymore. I'm going to try to link all this on my YouTube channel for the Amazon links. I can't even talk tonight. I shouldn't do this at night, but I wanted to get a video out today, and the other one just did not work. So anyway, you can buy these, and I paint them with just, you don't want to use an expensive like gold and acrylic paints. I just use like a Liquitex or something, and this is a matte black. So we'll paint that while the alcohol inks are drying. So anyway, let me show you another one here. So this is another one I did. Yep, this one is not. Now these aren't coated with anything. This is it turned out beautiful. I gotta tell you, this is kind of a funny story. So this one, let me just show you all these. So this is another one I did. Now this one, you can tell it's glossy. I did a resin. So this one has a resin coating. I used the UV resin I can't pronounce the name, but it's just a UV resin. It's not the real popular brand. And then I did this one. These will all be available on my website eventually. But anyway, so this one, I have to tell you, I put so much alcohol ink on here, and that's one thing. You're probably better off using a glazed tile. On an unglazed tile, it absorbs a lot of alcohol ink. You go through a lot of alcohol ink because, you know, you think about it, alcohol ink is mostly alcohol and very little pigment. So the alcohol dries up and you have very little pigment left. So if the alcohol is absorbed all into the tile, it's kind of weird. Like pearls, if you use a pearl alcohol ink, the pearl lays on top and the pigment sinks down into the tile. So, so with this one here, I just could not get it to look like I wanted to. I kept adding more pigment, and some would sink in and some wouldn't. And I looked at it and I thought, oh, it looks okay, you know. So I set it aside to dry overnight. And the next day I thought, you know, just add a little more. So I added a little more alcohol ink, and I knew it just wasn't what I wanted it to be. So believe it or not, so I took alcohol. Now you use these 91% isopropyl alcohol. This is what you want. You want the higher blend for alcohol inks. So I squirted isopropyl alcohol on here and wiped it all off. And this is what was left. And I love it. I love it. It's a rustic matte finish. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You know, it doesn't do it justice, but this is how much alcohol ink sunk into the tile after wiping it off with alcohol. So you can imagine how much it takes, but this is what was left. I mean, it was, I just couldn't believe it. So if you do work on unglazed tiles, and you don't like it, wipe it all off and you can start over again. But, don't give up. Just keep working on it. And then this one, so this one was my first one I did. And this one I did, you guys have already seen kind of a video on this one. But I don't know if I told you that I played around with this one and I didn't like it and I wiped it off. I let it dry and I tried it again. And I didn't like it and I wiped it off. And this is the third try. And I love it. So, you know, sometimes if you're going for a certain look, you know, don't give up. Just wipe it off and do it again. That's the great thing about alcohol inks. You just spray it with a little alcohol, or you can use this alcohol blending solution, and just keep working on it. But this one, I just love. The colors are just so vibrant, and I was trying to copy this when I was doing the other one. I could not get it to look the same. And that's, you know, it's hard to mimic a watercolor painting or an acrylic painting or anything, but alcohol inks especially are hard to duplicate, you know, because they just interact, and it's just, you know, it's kind of a crapshoot, you know, how they turn out. So anyway, so I'm going to try to do something a little bit different. We'll see if it turns out. One thing I want to say is I didn't realize, you know, what the difference is between both of these work. They're both good blending solutions for alcohol inks. The biggest difference is the alcohol blending solution lasts longer. It doesn't dry out as fast as this one. So basically it's almost like creamier. So it really is nice for these tiles because it gives me a longer time to blend the colors before it dries out. And so I'm going to put this on this tile first, which will, the tile will absorb some of it, so that when I use the alcohol inks, it won't absorb all the alcohol ink. So, sorry, I cannot, can't breathe. Oh my goodness. So let me lower you down here. You can see I'm in a kind of different area. So after my failed video today, so I'll tell you real quick. So something not to do with resins. If any of you have ever used resins on wood, let me know. Because I just didn't think it'd be a problem. But so what I did was I painted one black. I have it over here. I painted it black, and I put an acrylic painting inside on watercolor paper, heavy duty watercolor paper. I glued it down. Now I didn't let the glue dry all the way because I was making a video and I thought, well, you know, it won't matter that much. But when I put the resin on top of here, it was fine until I used the UV light, because it was a UV resin. So for UV resin, you have to use a UV light to cure it. So I did that, and the resin kind of buckled up. It is separated from the wood, so you could see like air pockets underneath of it. And needless to say, it was an epic fail. So that video no longer exists. I was going to air it, and I thought, you know, to just show people what not to do. But then I thought, oh, you know, I don't know. I didn't want to waste you guys' time. So anyway, so after that, I cleaned in my pottery room, kind of organizing and moving things around. So now my back is to my patio. So when the light's out, this late at night now, it's like probably 7:30, 8 o'clock. But I thought, you know, when the sun's up, you guys can see outside instead of seeing all my junk over here. All my collection of my millions of craft supplies. So let me lower you down and let's see if this, and hopefully you can see, let me move you a little bit closer here. There we go. And hopefully it's not too dark, because I do not have really good light at night, and that's why I usually do not do any night videos, because my lighting in this room is not very good. I'm going to put some alcohol blending solution on. When we bought this house, this is a strange kind of house. It's a Frank Lloyd Wright style house. So there's no attic, there's no basement, and so there's no attic to put lights in. So you know, I did add lights when I bought the house, but this room does not have an overhead light. Okay, so I'm going to blend this around a little bit. I tried to buy some more of this solution today at Hobby Lobby, but they did not have any. Well, they had a tiny bottle, but so I'm going to add a little bit of alcohol. And this does smell. I mean, this is not good for my sinuses for sure, but what I'm trying to do is saturate this a little bit so it does not absorb all my alcohol ink, and it'll blend a little better. So when you use a glazed tile, your alcohol inks are going to lay on top, and it's a whole different effect, and there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, you know, using a glazed tile is, I think, a lot easier. But I had these for pottery because I was throwing my mugs on these little things, and it was so convenient. If you're a potter and you're, you know, making a lot of mugs or little bowls or anything, and you throw them on an unglazed tile like this, you don't have to even really wire them off. They'll just pop off in a couple days. So that's what's, you know, I had a whole bunch of these, and I thought, well, I don't make dozens of mugs anymore at a time, so I thought, well, let's give it a shot. So I had them. So that's why I'm using them. So the pearls do not look that good on here. I may use a little bit, but and I tried to find some lime green today, but they didn't have that either. So I might try Michael's. You want to start with a light color, just like watercolors, because you can always add a darker color or add more. So what I'd like to do is, so I have a palette here, kind of like watercolors, and I'm going to put, now I know there's a little white in here, which I really don't want. If you add white to your alcohol inks, they become opaque instead of see-through, which is nice. They don't sink into the tile as much, but it just depends what the look you're going for. So I'm going to put a little bit of alcohol in the middle there to rinse my brush. Let's see here. Oh, I'm going to use a big brush here for this because I think I'm going to add a little bit of alcohol solution to the green because I don't want it very dark. I just want I want a background. Which is kind of odd for alcohol inks, because I'm painting more like it's watercolor or acrylic. So my technique is actually very different than most people's who do alcohol inks. Most people are all about the blending, and mine is kind of, I try to actually paint a little more than what most people do. So I've got this background color here. And the reason I picked green is because my flowers are going to be blue. And so when I put the blue over the green will not alter the blue color very much. So you got to kind of think ahead. Now normally, I wouldn't do a background color. I did not do a background color on those because those flowers are solid. But what I was kind of hoping to do on this video, on this tile, is like a blue cornflower. So we shall see. I'm going to put that in the water here. Let's see here. All right. So I'm going to get a smaller brush here, and I'm going to get my, this is kind of purplish, so I think I'm just going to put a little bit of blue in there though, because I don't have, my palette for this does not have enough room for all these colors. This ultramarine blue looks beautiful. So yeah, these are Reese. This is the brand that Hobby Lobby carries. Now this might have a little white in it too. I was adding white to a lot of them, trying to lighten the color, because the colors were so transparent. I was just not getting the color I want. Okay, so I think I just am going to do like three of them. Something simple. Let's see. Let's just. I know I want a center, so I'm gonna avoid the center of where my petals are coming out. And you can see how fast that dries. It does not spread out very far. So right now, I just am trying to figure out where I want these flowers. And then I can kind of come back and add petals and more color. But right now, I'm just kind of getting a feel for where they are and how big I want my centers. I think I want the centers a little bit smaller. So I'm going to come in a little bit closer. Yeah, so let's do this one again. Now, if I went back and wiped all this off, it would probably be pretty cool. But the fact that I put the green down first, you might not see these blue petals a whole lot. I'm not sure. But it'd be pretty interesting to try to do that. So I think I don't want it exactly right here in the center. It's gonna look like two eyes and a nose. So I think I'm gonna off center it a little bit. I think I'm gonna put it here, and then let's see. I just don't want it to look like four either. Oh, I think maybe I'll put two little ones here. But you don't want an even number either, so I don't want four. I think I'm just going to move it off center just a little bit here. We'll see how it goes. We can always erase it, right, if we don't like it. This blue is really, really pretty. It's very vibrant. In fact, what's weird is that it's almost turning purple. You see, it's almost turning purple on here. This one is still more blue, but this one is turning a little bit purple. So let's see. Let's put a little bit of blending solution in here, and I'm gonna stir it up because I think there's some white under here, and there was purple in here, so that's probably what we're seeing. And any of you guys, a lot of you followers who have followed me for years on this channel and have seen me paint pottery, you know, I do it the same way. You know, once you kind of find your style, you tend to start doing everything that way. Yeah, this is turning out really pretty. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to go over each one of these. I'm going to try to keep my face out here. And the fans come in this way, so hopefully we'll blow the fumes out of the way, because this is pretty strong stuff. Okay, hope I have enough for this flower. Let's see, if this was on a glazed tile, it would be spreading out like crazy. So you have to kind of decide, you know, what style you're going for, you know. So, okay, I'm going to add a little bit more of this ultramarine blue. Okay. Now I'm going to add a little bit of the white Blanc ink to it. And you can see what this does. So that was 3 drops. I may need more, but we'll just wait and see what it looks like. So I'm going to stir this up. It doesn't look like a whole lot here, so let's. I'm going to add a couple more drops. So that was 3 or 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another 4. So this ought to. You can see a little better down here. So it's not making a huge difference. So I'm going to use a different white. It's actually the same white, but it's older and it's dried out a little bit, so it's thicker. So instead of watering it down more, I'm adding more pigment. That's a lot of pigment, I think. So we'll see what happens there. But I can see more of a difference here. So, okay, let's, hope you guys can see okay. It's still not as much as I want. So I'm going to add a little more. That's a lot. That should make a much bigger difference. There we go. By adding the white, it makes it a little bit thicker, and it doesn't sink in and disappear quite as easily. So now, I think I'm going to add a little more white. Can you see all that white that I'm adding? Man, a lot of white. So just keep adding until you get the color you want. So you know how I am with, whenever I'm painting, I don't want all the petals to be the same color. I am bad about making them uniform, which I tend to make my flowers all the same size, and so I have to kind of catch myself sometimes, which is what I did here too. All the petals are kind of the same color, but that's okay. We can still add some white and stuff. And so this is probably pretty different than, I don't know, than what you've seen with alcohol paints. I'm going to add a touch more white. And this time I'm going to really try to keep it a little bit more white and just go around the center. I can't smell anything, so I'm sure it stinks, but I can't smell a thing. Okay, so, alright, well, that's not too bad. I do want yellow centers, so there we go so far. Okay, so I bought, it's orange. I did buy some more yellow today. Oops, yikes, I didn't rinse that off enough. I hope I didn't ruin my yellow. Might add some more yellow. And I think actually I will add, I was debating on adding a touch of orange, but I think I'll put the yellow on first. It's a little, I did have some white in here, and I'm not really liking the white, but what I think I'll do is put some on here, and then I'll add a drop of orange and see how that blends. So I'm rinsing my brush off in the center, which is alcohol, and then I just put it in the water. And wipe it off. Good. That should work pretty well. Okay, so I bought this orange today too. This is just orange. I love pearl, but the pearls do not work very well on the unglazed tiles. Okay, so that's doing some funky stuff there, which is kind of neat. Look at that. It looks so pretty. But look how white it is when so the yellow color sunk to the bottom, leaving the white that I had in there. So frustrating. So I'm going to add another touch of yellow. See if I can't get that to stay yellow. You can see what it's doing here. I really am liking what it's. I gotta turn it this way. I don't want it to run the wrong way. But you can kind of see how it. But look, the yellow is gone, completely gone. Huh. That's bizarre. I'm gonna add. I don't know. I'm gonna add some more yellow. I'm just gonna keep adding it. We'll just keep adding it and see when it builds up enough. And I'll add a couple drops of, keep my lids together. This is the orange again. That's looking really pretty. I'm liking the orange, but it's probably going to dry up to nothing. The orange is looking really pretty though. That is so funny. So, okay, so I've got, I'm going to add some leaves to this, and I want them, I think I want them darker. I'm going to let this dry out a little bit more and see, and keep adding orange to it. So this is the limeade. This is what I added here, but I want something darker. So I'm going to, I've got this olive green, which I love, but they did not have any more of this. This is one of my favorite colors of alcohol ink. It's olive green. So I'm going to put some, but it's going to have to be darker to show up over this. I really wanted this to be lighter green, not so green. And I'm going to put some in there. Okay. And I'm going to add a touch of the blue. Okay. And then I'm going to stir it, and let's see what we get. Looks really dark. Let's see. I might add some white to it to get some different colors. It's dark, but yet, here we go, and white. I know, you're saying, Lisa, but, you know, you have to experiment. And like I said, what's the worst that can happen, huh? We can wipe it off and end up with a masterpiece. You just never know. Yeah, I don't, yeah, okay, I'm not really liking that white, but I think it's going to stop it from sinking in. Like I like sometimes when it sinks in, and then sometimes I don't. Like I like the matte top. I think that's really cool. I'm gonna dip it in the yellow here a little bit. And then I'm gonna put more green over it. So sometimes you know, with alcohol inks, you gotta layer, layer, layer. I know most people, like I said, don't use alcohol inks in this way, but so let's see. I'm gonna go back in the greens, the green here, and just keep layering on this green until I get a little bit of a reaction. And some better blended colors. I'm going to add a touch of yellow too. What the heck? Let's see what that does. I'll pick this up and show you this in a minute. I love the flowers, but I want these leaves to be a little bit, more interesting, I guess. So I'm dipping my brush in the alcohol, and by doing that, it will kind of blend all the colors that have been layered together, and it looks like it's bringing the white back to the top. Oh goodness, look at that, look at that. They've turned completely white. I don't like that. Well, that is just bizarre. It wasn't doing, look at that. So you might not want to add the white. Now I added white on my other one and it turned out great. But you know, you never know. You really don't. So I'm gonna should I give myself more paper towels? I am going to wipe out this green that's got some white in it. And let's just get rid of that. And I'm going to go with this lighter green. This is Limeade. This is what I put on the base. And let's just see what it does when I mix it with this other color. I'm going to clean my brush off. And then I'm going to dip it in back in here. So this is just so funny. It's just getting whiter. Isn't that weird? Which it isn't terrible, but it's not the color I'm going for. So I'm not giving up. I don't want it. I'm going to add a little bit more of this green here, which is going to push out the darker colors to the rims, to the edges of the leaves. And then I'm going to go back over the petals of the flower because I don't want these above the leaves. So I probably would have been best to put these on first. I'm going to add a touch of this blue to get rid of that white because it's really bugging me. Let's see what happens now. Now I'm going to go back and add some more of this limeade green. And now I'm getting some fun colors. Okay. This is better. This is better. This is, well, it was better. It starts out good, and then when it dries up, but we're getting there. Can you see that? That is just bizarre. I'm not ready to wipe it off yet though, but I'm getting close to just wiping it off. I'm going to mix a little olive green, which is a darker green. And I'm just going to keep adding color. Ah, you see me. It's making me mad. Oh. Now, I don't think white would act like this on a glazed tile, but because white is heavier, it is not soaking into the tile. The color, the pigment is, and not the white. That's why it's doing this. So let's give it another shot. Put some more olive in here. And the color, the leaves really don't bother me too much, but I'm just going to keep soaking it and soaking it in the color I want. This olive green is what I used on here with the limeade. And it's what I used on the other one too that I wiped off. Look at that. I don't know. I really don't know what else I can do to add more color to this. The blue, I'm going to add a touch of blue to this. And we'll see, won't we? One drop of blue. Okay. Well, let's, I think I'm going to go with the limeade again. I'm going to wash my brush off here. This stuff really does stink. I can smell a little bit. So I'm going to put one drop of the limeade on here. I don't know, it's bizarre how the white is really coming through. But we'll make it work. We'll make it work. I'm going to it's actually looking much better. I'll hold it up here. Although, ooh, I don't know about this. The yellow took me right back. Can't be doing that. Let me add another drop here. We're not doing that. Okay. I clean my brush off. And I'll hold this up as soon as I'm done with these leaves. Because I'm about done. I've done all the damage I can do to them. But you can see how much ink I am putting on here, and it is just swallowing it whole. And that white, my goodness, that white is still coming up here, right through. Okay, so I think I may just let it go, and then go back to the leaves. Extremely frustrating, to say the least. I hate to have two failed videos in one day. But we'll make it work one way or another. So look at those stupid leaves. I do not like those at all. I mean, we'll make them work, but let me go ahead and I want to redo some leaves so that the leaves are overlapping the leaves instead of the leaves overlapping the petals. And I'll hold them up again so you can see what I've done. Sorry, like I said, I'm really sorry about the light. It's just it's not very, the lighting is just not very good in here. I really wish I had a bigger studio. This one is in my house. It's actually I've taken over my family room in the back. My kitty cats were on my lap before, but they have since vacated. Okay, I'm going to clean off my brush again, and I'm going to, I should have had another lid or something to put some of this white on. I want just a little bit of white. A little bit of white around the flowers. Try to get some of his blue off my brush. And I also want a little bit of orange. Put a little bit of orange back in the center. And I'll let that dry. Let's see. I'm going to try to take maybe a purple. Well, I was contemplating running a line down there. I mean, keep adding orange and just keep adding orange. And But like I said, you can see how much this just sucks it in. And it does have a neat effect when it's done, but it is really different. Let me let that dry a little bit before it's really making a cool effect. And I'm going to spray this with alcohol. Uh-oh, what happened? Can you guys see me? What the heck happened? Hold on, let me, I'm going to stop this and restart it. Alright, I am back. My phone died. I had like 40% battery on it, so I'm not sure why it lost charge so fast, but so I added a green pearl, and then I came back and added this is a Ranger ink. I think the Rangers have a little more pigment than the Brie Reese, but this one is Mermaid. So I added a little bit of that. So I really like that. So now I'm just going back and adding a little more of this blue to the leaves, because like I said, I want the leaves to be laying over top of the leaves. I want the petals to be laying over top of the leaves. Get it straight, Lisa. Get it straight. Trying to get my colors here together. Did you guys get some fun stuff for Christmas? Those who celebrate Christmas? I got some gift cards, which I got some gift cards to Hobby Lobby. So I went over there and got some paints and got some fun stuff, and I got gift cards to Michael's. Those are all our local craft stores here. So hope you can kind of see what I'm doing here. I want to spray this with alcohol when I'm done, and I'm a little leery because I don't want it. If I get the look that I want, I may not. But I want it to look like an alcohol ink, which means I want them to blend. So you can do that, you know, by spraying it with alcohol, but it's risky too because they could all blend into a pool of mess, which would be, you know, what, you know, I'm used to today. I really like this darker color here. So I'm just going to keep adding it on and adding it on, and I'm really liking this tile. But like I said, you can see how much this takes when you're on a tile that's not, that is porous. I have to keep an eye on my battery. I hope my battery doesn't go dead again. So, okay, let's see here. Let's just keep adding color. Alright, now I'm going to add some more yellow to the center. The center's actually pretty yellow, but... Oh, will you bring me your baby? Let me show you Charlie. Oh, Charlie, where's your baby? Where's your baby? Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, he's got his baby. You got your baby. There's Charlie. He's brought me a bone. Did you bring me a bone? He's getting so big. He's getting so big. Okay, so there's what I have so far. So I'm going to add, I know this is going to blend a little bit. And see, can you see how I'm getting the dark edges on the petals? Right here. That's what I want. And see, there's some here. That's what I want. And see it around the leaves on the outside here? That's what I want. I want that dark edge. I want that definition. So I'm going to add a little bit more yellow to the center. And it will expand out. Can you see what it's doing there? It's going to be so pretty, I think. If I don't ruin it, it'll be so pretty. But the white that I added to it is coming right through, which is, it didn't do that the other day, and I'm really surprised it's doing that. Because the white really helps it to be opaque, which I really like. But it's really not behaving very well. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to add a touch of this. Now, I don't know what this is. This is some generic one. It's called geranium. Because the white is really showing up in the center here, and I don't want it to. So I'm going to add a little bit of dark color to counteract that white. And we'll see if it works. We'll see if it works. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow now because I want it kind of orangey. Now, if you did this on a glazed tile, it would be, you'd have it running all over the place. I don't know, it's getting kind of funky. Getting kind of funky looking. I'm going to go over the leaves one more time. I'm going to add just a little bit more of this ultramarine blue by Brie Reese. A little bit more blending solution. I'm going to go over these leaves one more time, and I may get brave and spray it. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Sometimes you just got to go for it, but it doesn't always turn out, does it? I think I'm going to add a little bit more blending solution because that helps it spread, and that kind of gives me that definition that I'm looking for. Now you guys probably won't see this till Tuesday because it takes like 3 hours for this to upload because it's gonna be, I thought it was gonna be a short video. I didn't even paint my thing black, so that won't be in this video. But I don't think you want to watch me paint anyway. Not just a solid color black, right? It'd be like watching haircuts. I probably lost half the people already. But, you know, to each his own. Okay, now this center is so weird. It's turning pinkish now because the red must have mixed with the white and turned it pink, despite all the orange and yellow that I've added to this. And I wonder if it's because this Brie Reese is just, well, there's not a lot of pigment in it. That's what I'm thinking. But the Brie Reese inks, let's see if I've got a Ranger. Let's see here. Yeah, the Rangers are tall and thin. Let's see if I can find a Ranger yellow that's not a pearl. I have a whole box of them in here. That's salmon. I don't even know what the heck color that is. Here's one, but that's a pearl. I do not want a pearl. Here's one. Okay, so this is a Ranger. This is orange. Let's see what this does. This is Valencia. Let's see if the Ranger inks make a difference. I don't know, it's kind of looking like it might be. Yeah, I just bought some of these Brie Reese's too, but I won't be buying any more of those. There's not enough pigment in those. I think that's a waste of time, maybe. I'm gonna start putting the lids on. Oh, gee, now it's turning really white. Oh gosh, Lisa. I think what I'm going to do is take this yellow, which is kind of thick. I need to clean my brush out. Now this yellow does have white in it, but I'm going to leave it kind of thick so it doesn't spread out too much. I'm going to add, let me take that yellow back out that I just bought. Let's add a touch more yellow. And I'm going to add some more. Did I lose you guys? Are you still here? I don't blame you if you've left. This is like crazy. Don't ever add whites if you don't want the white to really show through, because it's crazy how it lays on here. Now this wouldn't do it on a glazed tile. It's doing it because this is a not glazed tile. Okay, so alright, I'm going to go back and add, believe it or not, I think I'm going to add some white dots. Oh, this would be scary. Now I could do this with a paint marker, which would probably be safer. Safer in that it's not going to, run all over the place. Okay, let me hold this up. I'm pretty happy with it. What do you think? You can kind of see the colors. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to add a touch of this alcohol spray. So let's see what happens. Let me bring you down a little bit closer here so you guys can see this. Alright, cross your fingers. Oh, I'm scared. Oh, that's a light spray. That was chicken. Oh. Okay. Oh, it's starting to react. Oh, I think I'm going to stop for a minute. Oh, I don't know. Good things are happening on the petals, but good things are not happening in the center for sure. I just wish I could get that center more yellow. Oh, and what's weird is now so the petals have lost color. Now, I would think it'd be the opposite. This could be another failed video. I'm sorry. It could be. It could be. So the petal, I don't know. This is not how I wanted to turn out. What would be interesting is to wipe this whole thing off and see what's left underneath, wouldn't it? Should we do that? I don't know. It's not a total loss, but I'm really interested to see what it would look like all wiped off and see what's underneath. I don't know. I don't know. Should we do it? Should we do it? Some people are saying, no, don't do it. I say we should do it. Let's wipe it all off. Let's just do it. I mean, what the heck? I can just redo it, right? It's not going to be losing anything. Let's see what happens here. Oh, look at that. That's pretty. That's what I want it to look like. Should we just leave it like that? That's really pretty. I wonder how long it will take for the alcohol to dry. Look at it, just sucking that right out of there. There may not be anything left in there. Oh, look at that. Isn't that weird? Look at this. Watch this. Goodbye. I'm going to dump. Well, there's nothing underneath. Isn't that weird? There's nothing. Except, well, children, kids, crazy people still watching me. I do see some color on here, so let's just keep going here. Let's just keep going. Look at that. That first color could be cool. It could be. I haven't given up. The smell of alcohol may do me in though. Yeah, there's not enough. There's not enough color. Whew. I'll put that over there. So there's what we ended up with. So not enough color. Now, because I'm putting this directly on here like this, if I wipe it back again, this will really show up. But my colors are, my petals are really blending together because it's so saturated with alcohol. Let's see if the yellow stays yellow. And I'm going to do a little bit of the green. Let's see. Now that looks a mess. That's a mess. I'm making a mess. It's about 8:30 at night now. So I'm going to get this blue back out here. I'm going to put some in here, and believe it or not, should I add a little white? I don't know. I don't know if I can do it. The white is not liking me tonight. Well, let's see here. I've got to hit a touch of white. I'm sorry. Shoot me now. Shoot me now. Might actually, yeah, look at the yellow staying yellow because I stayed away from that white. I don't know. The white was okay when I use it. You know, it just depends what you use it for. It's working good on my petals, but it just did not look good on the leaves. So, you know, you just gotta kind of decide what you're gonna use it for, and you know what effect you want. Because it's okay on these leaves. Petals, Lisa, petals. I'm gonna add a bunch more. White is my friend on the petals, but did not like white in the center. That is for sure. Starting to get a headache from this stuff. Need to go outside. Oh, gosh. It was going to be a short video, turned into... Oh, gosh. Well, if you follow this channel, you know that sometimes Lisa's things turn out, sometimes they don't. But you always learn something. Because, you know, what you make doesn't always turn out great, but you don't stop, you know? You keep going. Because that's how you learn. You never take a risk and try things, because there's a lot of happy accidents. Like those other 2 tiles I did. Some of my more favorite pieces. So, and this is turning out to be, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Okay, so I'm gonna wash this off. I'm getting pretty excited about this. I'm trying to hurry up, people, so you don't all fall asleep on me. Okay, so I'm gonna add. Oh, there's white in that. I don't know. I don't want to do that. Let me see here. Let me add some yellow. I do want to add my white. I do want to add my white dots still on the outside. I'm almost done. This is really looking pretty here. I'm not going to spray it again though. Spraying it usually works very well, but because of the white, again, I think it brought that white out. Look, it's doing the same thing in there because of that white. Goodness, that white will be the... Because I had white in the petals. That's so bizarre to me. So bizarre. I'm gonna add a little bit of orange. This Ranger ink really has more colorant for sure. I think I'm going to call it a day. Call it a night. This may or may not survive the night. We'll see how it looks in the morning to me. I really like it though. the white, wait for the white to dry. There you go. There you go. What do you think? If you're still here, you are a trooper. God bless you. But hey, look how it turned out. I hope you're in your studio working and just kind of following along and having fun with some alcohol inks. So, lesson learned, be very, not lenient, the opposite. Do not use a lot of white. I like the white on the leaves. I do not like white in the center. Petals. I keep saying leaves. Gosh, it's too late. It's too late at night. Let me see if I can. I know you're really close. Let me back up a minute. So, oh, you're crooked. We've been drinking? No. Oh my goodness. I'm getting slap happy because it's alcohol. Good thing I'm not driving, you know. I have to take a breathalyzer test or anything. Anyway, so there we are. What do you think? So, second attempt turned out pretty good. I will not use the white, which is bizarre. I don't know how to get around that, because I do like to add white to some of the colors to make them opaque, but not on these tiles. It is not a friend on the unglazed tiles. So this is a 6x6 unglazed tile. I am going to put it into, I'll show you, and I will either put a resin on this, or I will spray it with this. I will spray it with the crystal clear. So I'll do one of the two. I may not resin it. I will probably spray it. But this is kind of messed up because that's the one I tried to resin. That didn't work out. But I'll put it in here and you guys can get the idea. But I really like it. So there you go. Well, I'm gonna paint that other one tonight, and then I'll glue this in tomorrow. So there you go. So thanks for watching. If you want to come on more adventures with me, like and subscribe to my channel. Please share if you know someone else who wants to watch some crazy videos that are, you know, realistic, you know. They usually turn out pretty. Look. So anyway, I better let you go. I could yak on for all night. But have a great night. Thank you for watching, and I really appreciate you all. If I don't talk to you until after the new year, Happy New Year's. I wish you all the best, all peace, health, and wealth, and just, you know, health is the most important thing, isn't it? And so anyway, take care.